This is Hanan Hot'Pocket with Weasel News coming at you with a new exclusive. Ready to go to the Mayoral Dinner and interview the new candidates of the mayoral election of Evergreen. And I got to ask them some questions. And you guys are getting the first exclusive view on their plans of the city. Now an interview with Elayna. Top 3 priorities for the city and how do you plan to achieve them?
Oh my God. Well, actually, my whole entire campaign is sorry, not two, three big topics in for our city and stuff like that. So, my three big topics are citywide restructuring, American businesses first, and tax changes. Those are my three main categories of my campaign. Um, Basically, what I'm planning on doing is I want to work with people of all different types of walks of life and hopefully able to work with them a deal to bring a higher budget to our Department of Education so we can open up our colleges, higher budget for our health department because we aren't obviously paying our EMS workers and first responders enough because I'm not sure if you've noticed, ma'am, but a lot of times the hospital is empty and I feel like that's not the way it should be. I also want to put more funding into Parsons Mental Health Community Center. And another thing I want to put raise budget is the police department. I'm sorry. I'm actually one of the only candidates that actually want to put more money into the police department. And it's not to like pay them more or anything like that, but it's to basically do a police department reform. So basically, I want to offer better training for our cadets. I want to open up a police academy for our cadets as well. And I don't want them to be on criminal scenes and handling criminals until they have, you know, gone through the necessary steps of um, being, you know, like learning to be a police officer. I'm sorry, stuck on my words. So yeah, like basically I want to reform the police department and make sure that they don't violate citizens' constitutional rights, as well as knowing the law better and stuff like that. Um,
Lovely.
yeah, I mean I can go into more detail about like my other topics and stuff like that if you're interested.
Yeah, if you want to do that, because a lot of these questions are probably going to
Mhm.
pertain to that stuff, so if you definitely want to go in detail to that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So basically also another thing about American businesses first, I want to also put better food safety regulations on our businesses because I'm not sure about you, ma'am, but I'm really tired of businesses just offering like freezer burnt food. You know what I mean? And I just really don't like that, to be honest. And like I feel like a lot of businesses don't open because everyone's buying freezer burnt food and they just eat it whenever they want. So basically I want to put better food safety regulations on businesses as well as tax cuts for our local businesses because we've had a lot of businesses close down recently. I also want to raise tariffs on imported goods and bring back like our like industries basically into Los Santos. So oil production. I want to open up more warehouses as well as bringing back more American-made items, so that way we're not dependent on other countries for everything. As well as this will also offer more jobs to the city. Another thing that I do promise and I plan on doing no matter what is creating 1 million jobs in the city of Los Santos. And yeah, and another thing, last thing is I just want to raise the production of oil. So yeah.
Great, great. Okay.
And
Um,
then, oh,
no,
sorry.
you can keep going
And
if you
then
have
for
more to
my
say.
tax
Yeah.
changes, I just feel like, our top 1% definitely need to pay their fair share. And we need to be opening up like a trust for the city so then they can also offer, community events, help, other things like that, help people who are in need as well as, anyone who's in need, actually. Another thing, I guess, by doing that is I would have to tax the top 1%. And so I'm thinking the top 1% is, I believe these are what my associates told me at least, is anyone who makes over $10 million should be getting taxed, I believe, personally. Um, and then I also want to do a first business tax credit. So that will be up to $100,000 depending on the value of the business, as well as a first time home buyer credit, which is also up to $100,000 depending on the value of the uh, lot, I guess it would be.
Okay, cool, cool. That is a lot of good things there.
Yeah, thank
So,
you.
just a couple other questions. How do you ensure that everyone's voices in the city will be represented in your administration if you were to win mayor?
Oh yeah. Definitely me and Eden have been playing like the split up game. And so basically, like while I'm in the city of Los Santos, she's out there in Sandy Shores and Polito and stuff like that, spreading the word of our campaign and stuff like that. And that's like exactly what I'm intending on her to do is basically get to know people out in the community and figure out what their needs are basically. And yeah, like basically I want to go out and talk to people no matter their political beliefs, no matter where they come from, whatever. I feel like I'm pretty good at like coming up to people and just talking to random people. So
Great, great. Definitely. At your Elayna HQ, how's that going?
I mean I don't post it. It's actually like supporters of mine and stuff like that. But I do
Mhm.
appreciate them, asking for statements from me. I appreciate them, talking about, news. I mean, I feel like, news can be misconstructed in the city. And yeah, I mean, even that's even at fault of me sometimes, like you just kind of believe what someone says and you don't, check it. So I really appreciate, the true news of Elayna HQ as well as the true news of Weasel News.
Yes, yes, we love not fake news.
Yes.
Now, I know you have made music. In the past, but you've made music. So, this might be a good question for you. In what ways do you
Yeah.
plan to support the local art and culture scene of the city?
Yeah, we definitely need to do that. Like, we need to preserve our artists and art in this industry. And so, basically, one of the things I do want to fight for is I'm very anti AI, and I feel like AI has taken over on a lot of our art, such as like paintings, as well as even music. I mean, I've even heard rumors that some of the new artists in the city are using AI, and I just really don't appreciate that. We need to be protecting our art, and like art should be subjective, and it's different for everyone. And so I definitely want to put more like anti AI like campaign promises and stuff like that into my campaign, as well as into my um mayoral term, hopefully.
Okay, cool. And then I'll just have one more kind of wrap up question here. If elected, what legacy do you hope to leave behind at the end of your term once your term is up?
Yeah. I think this is actually a very good question. Thank you. I think what I'm wanting to be as mayor is I want to be a figurehead for change and hope in this city. I feel like a lot of people have lost hope in this city and think nothing's going to change. And basically, like, I have, the smarts to bring things to the table, and I have the sass to fight for these people, and not leave that table until I get those solutions. So I just hope, people can look back and know that I fought for them. And I'm not like a lot of these other candidates who, you know, are part of the police force or are lawyers already. And then they're over here talking about these things need to be changed. Well, you're part of the problem. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Elena. It was nice talking to you.
Yeah, no, it was wonderful talking to you. Thank you so much for the interview and everything.
Yes.
Elayna Eden 2025.